Hello, dividend executives. Welcome back. The stock market is open, so you already know we are buying stocks and we are adding assets to our portfolio like we do each and every single week. It's Wednesday when we're making this video, and you guys know that every single Wednesday we buy more stocks, we build our dividend income, we take a look at the money that we received over the last week, and we take a look at how we're doing with our goals. So first things first, let's just take a jump real quick. Let's go into... And then let me just pull up the dividends here. So let's look at the dividends we got last week. We had a couple reinvested. We had a couple not reinvested. We had about $272 or so that wasn't reinvested that we have to do some purchasing with today. We'll take a look at some share counts that we do want to be stacking and how we are slowly but surely building this snowball towards a $25,000 annual dividend goal. But first things first, let's take a look. So towards the end of last week, we received our TSLY $40 dividend that was not reinvested, so that went straight back to cash. QDTE at $36.11 reinvested. RDT at $29.18 reinvested. XDTE at $40.89. ymax at $90. We are at the 500 share count goal there, so we are not reinvesting that. And then TSLY, really bad payment here. Honestly, I think one of the worst ones we've seen so far, $6.71, but it is what it is. We just keep stacking. We keep getting paid every single week, and we continue to build the account. So what are we looking at for this week? Well, let's take a look at what the account's looking at. We're at 41,000 as of right now. Pretty much flat on the day. For the week, we are down 1.25%. For the month, we're up 1.75%. 3 months, up 17%. 1 year, up 26%. And then all time since we opened this account, about 2 years ago, we're up 35%. The graph's a little bit skewed because this account was actually opened several years ago. It just wasn't used and it sat dormant. So we're up about $10,000 in the account, which is not too bad for mostly a high dividend, high yield portfolio with low growth. We're slowly but surely stacking towards the growth side now that the portfolio is getting a little bit bigger. But that being said, not too bad. I'll take 35% over the last 2 years, and we have about $11,700 and $11,796 worth of buying power. We have some puts on the table as we do every single week. We sold 7 MSTX puts this week. We sold them on Monday. We received $35 of credit, and you may say, why are you putting up so much capital to only receive $35? You have to remember here with Robinhood, because I have margin enabled, you pay no interest to sell cash secured puts. So I can collect money on Robinhood's margin. As long as I don't get assigned the shares, I will never pay interest. And so if I can get between $30 and $50 a week with Robinhood's money and never pay a cent of interest on it at a low delta, I'm going to do it. So that's what I did. I went to the very bottom of the MSTX chain. I went down as far as it would let me go until I could get the minimum of the 0.05 because it trades at 0.05 increments. And we sold the put. It's at a 0.0051 delta. The stock would have to absolutely crater in 1 day to get assigned these, and then I'll just let all these expire worth this. And we've been doing this in this account for quite a while, and so we're just stacking up a little bit. We take that money and we reinvest it into dividends every single week. So that's the MSTX put. And I want to take a look at what we're buying today. We have some assets. You guys know every single week I like to just break it down like this. Super simple to look at. And I like to look at the dividends we received over the last week since the latest video, and did we reinvest them? So what happened this week? Well, ymax, we received $90. We did not reinvest that. Cash, we put in a new 100 like we do every single week, and like we have ever since we started this series. We have that to invest. TSLY $40, TSLW $7, and then MSTX puts we got paid $35. So we have $272 that we're going to reinvest. And how are we reinvesting it? Well, VTI and SCHD, you know that every single week. Those are automatically purchasing every single day $5. And so that's more towards the growth side of the portfolio and the stability side of the portfolio. QDT, we're going to be making a purchase, and we're getting it to the 250 share count goal. We'll talk about that a little bit more. JEPQ, we're going to add a little bit there, and then part of it's going towards our margin balance. We did have around an $18,000, $19,000 margin balance, and we have been slowly bringing that down. We're now almost under the 9,000 margin balance, and so we're just going to continue to pay that down each and every single week, but I do want to reinvest some of it. So I want to jump into the spreadsheet here because we started this at the start of the year, and what we're looking at is the goals that we set, right? So we set a bunch of lofty goals. It was going to take us over $10,000 to get to these goals. We have about 5,300 left, and we've just been stacking. So we hit our ymax goal. We hit our TSLY goal of 100 shares, ymax of 500. TSLW is at 40 shares out of the 50, so we have 10 shares left there, which is 364. JEPQ, we're at 44.7 out of the 50, so we need about 5.23 shares there, which is going to cost us roughly $276. So that's a low-hanging fruit. But the lowest hanging fruit that you probably see there is QDTE. We've been stacking this for almost a full year, and we're almost to the 250 share count goal, and I want to just get it done, and I'm going to turn off drip once we do it. So we're at 99% there. We need just a little bit. Actually, we actually even have more because we got dividends reinvested. So just a little bit of capital needed there. Over, I think it's like 1.3 shares. We need to get it done. So we're going to finish that off. We're going to buy our last share. We're going to turn drip off, and we're going to finish off our QDT 250 share count goal. And then what the goal with that is, every single month on average, QDT is paying us about, I don't know, 220-ish every single month. And so now that that goal is hit, that money will be going back to cash, and I can either reinvest it into growth plays, I can reinvest it back into pay down the margin, or I can reinvest it into other high dividend assets and I'm just going to keep snowballing it, right? Once we did ymax, we've been doing the same, TSLY doing the same, and now we're going to be doing that with QDT, which is a big portion of this portfolio, right? About $8,500 worth of capital at stake there that now we're going to be able to reinvest into other assets. So let's buy some stocks together like we do each and every single week, and then we got some stuff to go over. So let's jump in here. Let's buy some stocks. We are going to be buying, like we said, we're going to be buying some JEPQ. We're going to buy one share here. Let me just go here to the shares. We're going to be purchasing one share, $52, and just slowly but surely increasing this one. We've been doing it each and every single month, and getting our position up a little bit. That puts us to just under 5% portfolio diversity, $2,400, 45 shares, almost 46, and we're up about 6% on that play. The next one is QDTE. We're going to come in here and we're going to buy the shares. Now, this is going to be a super weird amount. Hopefully I did the math on this, 307,571. So only $34, but or 44, I think it said. Yeah, $44.78, and that should take us, yes, directly to our 250 share count goal. About $8,500 worth of market value. $39.21 is our cash cost basis as of right now, and it's about 17% of our portfolio. So the goal is, now that we have hit the 250 share count, we're going to reinvest that into other assets, and we're going to diversify more away from that. And now, as we've been doing, we've just been laying the groundwork for a money printing portfolio, right? So we've been slowly but surely buying all these high income funds. Now that we're starting to get to share counts, we're going to snowball that money into other funds, and then we will start building more and more growth along the VTI, SCHD. Maybe we'll sprinkle in some QQQ there, and we're just going to keep building. So that's the update there. We purchased some stocks there, and I do want to take a look at some dividends. So let me just pull this up here. Posted this last night. QDT is paying out 20.4 cents this week, up from the 14 cents last week. XDT at 22.2 cents, up from the 19 cents last week. RDT at 24.39 cents, up from the 13.4 cents last week. So those are looking good. Honestly, still not impressive by any means, but at least we're going up. Along that same note, these are some of the ymax payouts that are going to be coming out this week. For me, in this portfolio, I'm focusing on the ymax, coming in at 14.2 cents. This one's really, really low. I don't think we've had a payout this low since, April, I want to say. So we'll have to take a look at that. Bummer to see this one going down, but it is what it is. And then the other one we're looking at here is NVDY at 67 cents, 67.21 cents. And yeah, not bad. So we'll be getting paid $67 there. We'll slowly but surely get closer to the house money there. And those are the dividends that are going to be coming out. They also had an announcement where there is going to be some new weekly pays that are going to be coming out. You guys probably saw it. They introduced, Roundhill introduced some new weekly pays. Actually, I think I could just pull up the graphic here. One being on Hood, which was interesting to me. Here it is. Right here. So these are the 5 new Roundhill investments. We have Amazon Meta, BRKB, HOOW, and NFLW, which I'm kind of interested on the HOOW, a weekly payer on Hood. You guys know I love Hood. I use the platform each and every single week. And these are going to have a little bit of leverage aspect on it, right? And they'll also pay out weekly. So we might end up doing something with those. I'm just going to see how these ones pay out. But yeah, not too bad. So it's always good to see innovation. It's good to see companies coming out with new stuff. And I love to see that. So I'm going to come into the portfolio here. We'll just jump through this real quick. How are we looking for the month? Right now, it's $705 worth of passive dividend income. No BITO payments. You guys know we let those shares go. So as of right now, no BITO coming in. We do have SCHD and VTI that should be coming in this month. So that'll be $60 to $70. We're already at $705 of income here. Just $100 off beating everything that we made in 2024. And slowly but surely, we're just stacking. We're almost 41% of the way to our June goal of the 1,723. I think we can get close. This Friday, we should have these coming in. $50 from QDT, $47 from XDT, $52 from RDT. YMAX is going to be paying us $71. NVDY $67.21. So we have about $288 worth of income that's going to be coming in on Friday. And the coolest part is now QDT has hit the 250 goal. So that cash is going to be coming straight back to us. So we'll have more firepower for next week. And what I mean by that is like when we were looking at this graphic, right? So all of this cash is hitting the account each and every single week, and then we reinvest it in whatever we want to. Now we're going to be adding about, between $30 and $50 a week. So we're going to be having close to $300 every single week that we can reinvest into whatever assets we want to. So that's cool to see. I do want to jump real quick into the weekly dividends and see how the trends are looking, right? Trend-wise, 4-week average on QDT is down significantly. XDT is down significantly. RDT is also down significantly to the 23.7 cents from the 28. Total return on all these assets is still looking great. 11.34% on QDT, 8.2% on XDT, 4.5% on RDT, and then YMAX. We are at 7.26% total return with about $7,600 left until we hit house money. And what I mean house money is so far we've collected $2,182 in dividend income, another $7,600, and we are free and clear, and we're technically playing with house money. So that's good to see. Trend line, QDT sitting, this payout came in below the trend line. XDT below the trend line as well. RDT just right above the trend line, but still not looking good. 24 cents from the average of 28 cents since inception. And then YMAX, we are just below the trend line here, which is a bummer to see. We were trending up there for a while on the payouts, and hopefully things were flipping, but we got a low payment here. Like I said, we haven't seen this low of a payment since, April when we received 13 cents. So it is what it is, but that's where we're at. So that's where we're sitting in the account as of right now. Slowly but surely, we keep stacking towards our share count goals. We should be able to hit, we should be right at next week. This will show the 250. We'll be right where we need to be there. That'll be done, and we'll start stacking towards another goal. Maybe JEPQ we start putting on the roll towards getting paid off, or towards hitting the 50 share count goal. And slowly but surely we keep stacking. So hopefully everybody's enjoying their passive income. They're stacking that dividend income, and they're laying the groundwork for a money printer. So appreciate everybody as always. Happy investing, and we'll catch you next time.